Hi YouTube land world. So today's video is going to be about things you probably shouldn't say to someone with IBD, i.e. someone who has Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. So I'm just gonna jump right into it, and hopefully you'll learn some things on the way and you'll learn about things you shouldn't say to someone with IBD. So when I tell people that I'm sick and they just tell me, but you don't look sick. Yeah, I don't look sick. Like, do you want to see the pictures of my inflamed colon from my last colonoscopy? I don't think so. Like, sure, I have a medical bracelet that I wear sometimes, and sure, sometimes I wear a knee brace and I limp because my medicine makes my muscles really sore and it causes me joint pain. Sorry, I don't walk around looking like a zombie all the time. Sorry, I wear makeup to try to not look like I am drained from all my color sometimes. IBD is an invisible disease. You can't see physically that you're sick from the outside. This is another one that I get a lot. People ask me, what is ulcerative colitis? And I try to explain to them what it is in a nutshell. It's basically my body doesn't recognize the lining of my intestine as part of its actual body, so my immune system is attacking it and fighting against it. So basically, I have a really hard time digesting a lot of food and my stomach hurts a lot. This is what people have told me before. I had a stomach ache for a week. I know how you feel. No, you don't. No. Ulcerative colitis or Crohn's is more than just a stomach ache. It's more than just not being able to gain any nutrients from the food that you're eating. It's a lot more than that. So basically, no, you don't. You don't know how it feels. Unless you have IBD, you don't know. You can't say that you know how it feels when you've never even experienced it. Like, I don't know about you, but I usually would like to have the feeling of my intestine being stabbed from the inside. I know, just, I don't know. This next one I've gotten for my school has this thing called the DRC. It's the Disability Resource Center. So I wouldn't say I have a disability, but I do have a disease that affects my daily life. So we have a DRC tram, and on my campus are these little trams or little like golf carts, and they'll pick you up from your class or pick you up from your apartment. I live on campus, and they pick you up and they take you to class. And so it's for people like me who have trouble walking a long amount of time because I do get shin splints from all the medicines that I take, and my legs get really sore. A lot of the people who take the DRC tram have like a broken leg or something, and like, yeah, I'm a pretty slow walker and I like limp a little bit, but like by looking at me you're not just like, oh, she is like mobile impaired or whatever. So I've been in the tram and I get, how did you hurt yourself? What did you do? I didn't do anything. I was born this way. Thanks. Here's another one. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So a lot of people have heard about Crohn's disease, and I feel like not as many people have specifically heard of ulcerative colitis, because it's not like ulcerative colitis disease, it's just ulcerative colitis. So when I'm explaining it to someone, I'm like, oh, it's similar to Crohn's disease. And they're like, oh yeah, my friend has Crohn's disease. I know all about ulcerative colitis. No, there is a difference. And they're both very painful, so don't think that ulcerative colitis is no big deal compared to Crohn's, okay? Thank you. How did you catch ulcerative colitis? How did you get it? How did you get this disease? I was born this way. It's my autoimmune system. It doesn't recognize part of my body as being part of my body. There's really nothing that I did to make this happen. IBD can flare from stress or just a change in your life, but there's really nothing I could have done to prevent getting ulcerative colitis. Hence, it's a incurable chronic autoimmune disease. Some people who have no idea how it feels just say, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I don't even have a comment for that one. I get blood tests a lot, and I get IVs every 4 or 6 weeks, okay? So I'm pretty used to blood tests, and I used to hate blood tests, shots and needles, and now I'm just like, just go for it, stab me, really don't care anymore. So some people are like, oh yeah, I've gotten blood tests before, like I know how that's like. Have you ever been stabbed 3 times in maybe in the span of 20 minutes and having your body not being able to give any of the phlebotomists are people who take your blood when you get blood tests. 3 different phlebotomists try to take blood out of your arm, your body too weak to give it any blood, so they have to pump blood out of your arm, and meanwhile you're like fainting. I don't think you know the extent of blood tests. I'm a blood test pro. Whenever I get my blood tests, I go to the same lab. I hate when I have to go to other places that are not my specific lab that I go to here, and I tell them I want the 3rd room, you need to lie down, and you need to use a butterfly needle. And they do as I say. Here's another thing that a lot of people misunderstand about ulcerative colitis. They tell me, oh, you should eat more fiber. You should eat more this. You should take this vitamin. You should have more salad, more vegetables in your diet. You stop eating foods that are not good for you because that's what's causing your ulcerative colitis. Fun fact, fiber irritates me when I eat it because my body thinks the fiber is evil. It's really hard and painful to digest. So no, I will not eat more fiber, and no, there's nothing that I can eat that's going to cure me. There are certain foods that will irritate me, but simply cutting out a certain food or adding a certain food into my diet is not going to make me completely better. No. How did you catch ulcerative colitis? Well, I mean, Mother Nature threw it at me, so I caught it, and I've been living with it ever since. No, you can't catch ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease or IBD in general. It's an autoimmune condition, so my autoimmune system was created this way. There's nothing I can do about it. My body doesn't recognize part of itself and decides to attack it. It's like there's a war going on, and we are all warriors. Our shield has been destroyed. That was a really weird analogy. Here's a good one. So as some of you guys may know who watch my videos, one of the medicines that I am taking for my ulcerative colitis is called Remicade, and it's basically an IV infusion. Basically, I go to my doctor's office. Some people go to the hospital to get it done, but I get mine done in my doctor's actual office, and I basically get hooked up to an IV in my arm. It's always this arm. I get hooked up to an IV, and I get hooked up to one of those little saline solution packets, and then my doctor, well, not my doctor, the nurse who does my Remicade puts the Remicade, and just like a liquid, she puts it in a little pouch, and it just goes in my arm, and I just kind of hang out for a little bit. One of my friends told me one day, I told them I was gonna go to get my IV medication, and they said this: have a good time at your transfusion. Okay. No. An infusion is different from a transfusion. If I'm getting a transfusion, that means, for example, I am getting blood into my body. Transfusion is more life-threatening, I would think. I mean, the whole reason you donate blood is for people who get transfusion. So whenever I think transfusion, I think blood. And I'm telling this friend, oh, I'm gonna get my infusion. I'm getting it infused in my body. It's an infusion. An infusion and a transfusion are not the same thing. Google it, please. Here's another one for you. Sometimes my friends like to come with me to get my IV infusions. That's really nice of them, and I really appreciate that. So if someone's not usually there with me, and if I'm not really doing much, I'll usually just like play on my phone, text my friends, you know. Sometimes people will ask me, oh yeah, what's up? Like, you texting me, you know, be like, oh, I'm just at my infusion. Like, oh, sorry, like, talk to you later. No. I want to talk to you during my infusion. I like friends. Sure, like me and the nurse are like buddies, and like it's fun because when I'm chilling there, I kind of just crack jokes with all the other nurses in the office. But anyway, don't tell me goodbye if you wanted to talk to me and I'm at my infusion, or as some people call it, my transfusion. Seriously, people. So that is just a few of the many. There's more, and I will write more down, and maybe there'll be a second video, a sequel might be back, because I've only been officially diagnosed for about a year, but I've been having symptoms for a little over 2 years now. The stupid comments just keep coming. Google ulcerative colitis, Google IBD, Google Crohn's disease, and Google infusion. One of the worst things ever is when people try to tell you things like they know everything when they have really no idea, and it really means a lot to me when someone who's trying to support me goes out of their way and does the research and comes to me and goes, okay, I understand what's going on in your body, how can I help? Okay, there's tons of ways to help, even if you have no idea what it is. Be there for me. Be someone to talk to and just be available and open. IBD isn't the most glamorous disease that you can have, but when you think about it, I mean, what is glamorous about a disease? Suppose I could like diamond stud my pill case or put glitter on my IV little holder that holds your little saline solution bag when you get your IV. There's really nothing glamorous about any of it, and for someone to be there for you and to still be mature enough and not just take it as like a joke. You can have Crohn's disease patients who are in more pain than an ulcerative colitis patient, or you could have an ulcerative colitis patient being in more pain than a Crohn's disease patient. Ulcerative colitis and Crohn's, they really vary per person, and for me, really varies per day. Some days I will be rocking, and some days I won't leave my house because my disease is getting the best of me. No, it's tough, and it's really nice to have people who are there for you. You don't try to tell you that they've been there when they haven't been there, and they just tell you something like, oh, I had digestive issues myself, and I couldn't imagine having it all the time like you do, and you're really strong for going through that. Bam, there you go. Honestly, there's so many ways to be there to support somebody. I'm doing what I can. If there was a way to suddenly cure my disease, and ulcerative colitis and Crohn's would not be incurable diseases, okay? There'd be no reason why I would want to be taking all of these medicines that basically destroy the rest of my body, but helping my symptoms for ulcerative colitis, and some of them don't even help the symptoms completely, which is why I have to be on so many different medicines. Don't act like you know what you're talking about when you don't. Do a little research. All in all, IBD is a very, very temperamental. Some days you are fine, you are golden, and then some days are just horrible. Today's one of my bad days, and my stomach has been hurting all day, and I'm trying to taper on prednisone again, and prednisone is doing squat. So anyway, don't be stupid. So that's basically what I wanted to tell you. Thank you for watching my video, and I appreciate people who have commented and liked and subscribed. You guys are awesome. You're the reason why I'm making these videos, and it makes me happy knowing that I can sort of be there for some of you and educate a lot of people about IBD and what it's like to have an invisible illness. Anyway, I hope you have a great weekend and that you're having a lovely day. Stay happy, stay well, and I'll talk to you in another video. Peace.